it also
are
affects
super
minority
common.
communities much more than white communities. So when people are like,
do you know Patrice O'Neal?
yeah, I do.
So Patrice O'Neal, super famous comedian, one of the funniest comedians ever.
R.I.P. to a real
R.I.P.
one.
Patrice O'Neal. So he dated a white woman, or hooked up with a white woman, and there was like some component of judgment from her peer group. This was probably back in the 80s or 90s, that she hooked up with a black guy, and instead of just dealing with the regret, she falsely accused him of SA, and I think he went to jail. And
How do they know it's false? Like,
how
I
do you
don't
know
understand.
that these men actually essayed them?
Because why would I lie about that?
Why would you lie about this?
Yes, why?
There's a lot.
Yeah, people lie about all kinds of
Some
women.
You don't think
People.
people
Why would
lie?
someone
Why
do?
would it- why
Has a
would
girl
I-
ever lied about you? Has a girl ever made up some shit about you?
Yes, but this is a serious accusation. This is
Listen,
not just,
Bro,
people
women-
lie. I agree that
Women
people
lie
Yeah.
all the time
Well,
about
so
this.
please don't-
Women lie about who got them
Why?
pregnant.
women do lie, but please tell me why someone would. What are
Why
you
so-
dating?
do you
So
know
many
how much you
people
have to?
attack-
Do you know
people
how much you stand to gain from a lie?
They get so much hate, and these women, they get pressured with like lawsuits and all this insane shit. When
What do you
come
mean? They
out.
get
Guys,
victim
that's true.
points. They get victim
No,
points.
this is not-
Yeah,
You're
they
assuming
do.
women wants to be
They,
victimized.
The
they
majority
get
of
to
people
they
who-
get to
who-
indulge in their victim identity.
It's literally like why, like they get silenced so quickly, and people hate when
No,
that. So
they literally don't get silenced.
that's your perspective as a man.
Giovanni J.D.
And I'm
donated
gonna
be
so real. You're one
$200.
of those like male
ISIS
like
literally
rights
admitted and
activists.
bragged about SA on camera 90 minutes ago and is now backing off it. Straight to f***ing jail. They're not sending their best folks. Also, chick next to Pink has a tummy ache.
Oh.
Oh, also, I was gonna say,
Is that like calling me fat?
No.
Yeah, no.
Maybe he's talking about like a face you're making or something. I don't know.
RBF. Yeah, Giovanni, thank you for the TTS. Okay, so you're about to call me a men's rights activist.
And I
what
think
what would
that's
actually
cool,
be
but, like,
wrong with
but
being a men's rights
There's
activist?
nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, a lot of these men, they
Yeah,
like.
so yeah, I
whenever-
stand up for men who are falsely accused.
and I'm standing
you
up for
should
men,
too,
too.
as a woman,
And I am
because
too,
women
right
who
now.
hold on, but women who make false accusations discredit women who actually
Literally.
are victims of
Yes.
these things.
I mean,
it makes
that's
it
true
harder for
statements,
it makes it harder for them to get justice.
Yes.
But
so,
the thing is, you can.
so I think SA is a fucking terrible crime. Awful crime. They should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But also, women will make false accusations too, and that this is an issue for men that needs to be addressed.
But you know what is like really ridiculous? Whenever a woman brings up any kind of sexual assault or any kind of anything like that, men immediately go, instead of being like, oh, that's really bad, they go, what about men? What about men?
Yeah,
Shut up,
exactly.
bitch. Like, what about men?
Are you talking about
much
Twitter or
larger
real life?
proportion.
Real life.
I do kind of second that. In my experience, men kind of get really, really defensive.
They do
Big
get
Sass
defensive, but
Energy
nobody's talking about
donated
you.
$200. Trevor Bauer, the baseball player, falsely accused of SA. Major recent case. Got kicked out of the MLB. Women absolutely do this stuff all the
Don't
time.
say all the time. Okay, then you list
plenty.
5 assault right now. 5 assault men that were wrongly
I can tell
accused.
you
I
I've been
can
assaulted
I can say 10.
several times.
I can say 12. I can say 20 right now.
Trevor Bauer, Patrice O'Neal. There was, I think Kobe was falsely accused.
The Jackson 5?
Kevin Spacey. That you like overstate, or the guy who's
why are
Or
you
the Central Park 5? Weren't they falsely accused?
Here's a
friend that was
falsely
here's a good
accused.
one. Who is that?
Can we let her?
Wait.
talk?
Hold on. Oh man, this was like in the, like.
She's been trying to talk.
Wait. It like essentially started the civil rights.
Louis?
Huh?
CK?
No. What?
Oh, you said civil rights.
It was this Emmett Till. Emmett Till. This was a 14-year-old boy, and I guess he was going to a gas station or something, and he made a comment towards a white woman. This is in the Deep South. She goes and tells her family that this 14-year-old boy said something kind of whatever, hit on her, whatever, spoke to her, didn't touch her, didn't essay her, just said something that I guess there's racism component to this too. So she tells this lie, who knows why, and then her family lynches him, kills him, beats him to a pulp. 14-year-old boy gets lynched, and then on her deathbed confesses that it was all a lie.
That is a very sad story. It's very unfortunate it happened. It shouldn't happen. But you keep listing individual cases where men were wrongly accused, and then women were.
You asked me to give you. You asked me to give you a list.
And then, like the thing is, but I can list hundreds of women. If we're waiting, then women are hurt so much more. There's a few cases of men getting like that.
Also, in both of the
I mean, I'm
examples,
not trying to like do a tit for tat comparison. Hold on, I'm not trying to do a tit for tat comparison here, but like I have not committed to memory like every single. I've heard of hundreds of instances of men who've been falsely accused.
Okay.
Hundreds of instances. I don't commit them to memory, but like if yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I just feel like there's a difference when you're talking about SA. You're saying it's such a small amount of men, and it's just like irrational that women would be choosing the bear, or like making that point, but you're so quick to say false accusations happen all the time.
They do.
Yeah, well, I would
They
just
do.
say, like, the numbers, they're either comparable or must be higher because it's a more common crime. It's a more common crime, and like
it's still in. Sorry.
Statistics.
Well, they've done. There's been various analysis and studies on this. They typically put the rate of false accusations anywhere from 8% to 45% in some studies.
I don't know about that.
Fine, you don't have to believe it, but those are some of the studies that have been done. But like an agreed upon number is 8%.
Okay, well, listen. So I've experienced a lot of really bad stuff in my lifetime.
Okay.
And the man, scot-free. Nothing happened to him. He has a whole girlfriend.
Did you
No.
go to the police?
No, but I was a child. And these men get away with it.
That's
Okay,
horrible.
well, I mean, I obviously object to child abuse, but like, I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't happen, but we're talking, this is all within the context of the bear conversation.
Yeah.
And you guys are saying, well, the risk is so significant
no, it's not.
of SA. What do you mean?
It's not significant. Like, we've all pretty much, like, the statistics, like, we know it's not likely to happen. It's not as likely. It's the women have an emotional damage from men, and
Okay,
so
so
that's why
here,
they.
I have to wrap up on the bear thing. Did you have something on this? I don't know if
I
you're.
don't even remember anymore.
Well, hold on. So I got to move on from this, but so I guess where I'm going with all this is, my view is to say bear, it's essentially you're just being sexist towards men, because if I were to give you a scenario, if we just change it to, would you rather be in the forest with a black?
Hail and well met. LOL Paladins donated $200.02. Proof that women lie constantly. Go ahead,
she
Waswas.
got up.
You just said you could name 100s of women. Go ahead, we are waiting. You've currently named 0. Lie some more. You just lied to win an argument.
She's behind the scenes.
Can I
She heard it,
say
Lol
something?
Paladins. One sec. So, anyways, it's not really like, I'm not trying to do like a competition. She asked me to name some. I named a couple. This is not like my primary talking point here. In fact, it rarely comes up on the show, but it came up tonight. I've heard so many stories, especially in college. This is crazy how they handle it in college. Title IX, these men are absolutely just like losing their college careers over like dubious accusations. In any case, look, if genuinely happens, I think these men ought to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, but I also believe in innocent until proven guilty. And it very much seems when it comes to these specific kinds of accusations, innocent until proven guilty is totally thrown out the window. So I do just have to say on this bear thing, so I'll grant that you've had bad experiences with men, but to then go ahead and just have this sort of general bias against men is like, well, as long as you just say you're sexist, okay. You'll have to also say, for example, if we put a black man in this situation, would you rather be in the forest with a black man or a bear, and you pick bear? You're going to have to be racist.
If that was actually true, that people like had a reason to be threatened by another race of people, then it would be true. But women
So-
are physically
that's-
like
so
women have a lot of reasons.
Let me ask you a question. So let's say I had a bad experience with a black man, and then from there on out, I held a bias against all black men. I was fearful of them. I was scared they were going to attack me. I would like get away from them. I wouldn't associate with them, wouldn't be friends with them, wouldn't do business with them.
You would've
Whatever
been
it
racist,
is,
yeah.
would that be racist? If I
If
had
you hate another race of people, if you think they're inferior, then that is racist. So if that's what you're describing, then yeah.
Is it what I'm describing?
What
the
you
race.
said like you avoid.
Okay, I'll make it really simple. If somebody has one negative experience with a black person, and because of that one negative experience, they then they're scared of black people in general, is that racist?
Yeah, I would say that's
Okay,
racist.
so then it's sexist for women who have had one bad experience with men to
Not
just.
one.
Okay, fine, 3.
It's like no, but I don't think you understand that women
severity.
experience like small cuts, like you know, death
Like-
by 1,000 cuts. It's like always something that.
Yeah,
like,
there's
you just
men
don't,
who are
men
annoying
can
and they
just never
catcall you, sure.
understand like
Can I-
the
Men can never understand.
how women like.
Yeah, you
view
get a lot of
guys.
creepy attention from men. We get it.
No, you actually don't because
Assault.
you're not a woman and you haven't
Yeah.
grown
So
up
I-
as a
Exactly.
girl, and like the amount of like men that will like look at you when you're a child, like.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Can
No,
I-
it's,
can I-
it's genuinely
deeper
true.
than
Wait, no,
attention.
hold on.
Literally the facts.
Actually, if you look at what's going on in the school system, you have a bunch of women who are essaying underage
There
male
are news,
children.
There are news too, but there's a lot more
And it's
male
way-
predators.
Oh
There's a
no,
lot
there's
more
way
male-
more
question.
female
We're talking
teachers.
about-
There's way
Then go
more
search
female
it,
teachers.
then.
There's
Can I
way more
still say
female
something?
Using that
teachers
to
who are
silence the
essaying
women
children.
talking about it.
Can I still say something?
Go ahead.
All right, can I say something? Because it's quite a fiery topic at the moment. First, I want to start. It's horrible what happened to you. I hope later in life they still get them. I think the system, law system, will get there eventually. So I hope you get the closure you need eventually. To start off, I'm studying law, and I see a lot of twisted stories, and a lot of those stories in the courtroom are about falsely accused men. Women that go out with fake IDs, fake everything. I do not say that every woman does. I just say it happens. I think that's wrong. I think that's very wrong as well. I think a lot of men do not speak out because of shame. I think if, as a woman, we have something happening to us, we do not always speak out right away. That's why you have stories like a year later or 2 years later that you finally have the courage to speak about what happened to you, and you are very brave if you finally do. With men, it's the same thing. Men are not monsters. They have feelings sometimes as well. It takes time for men to speak out. I think that's why the numbers aren't there yet. And I think also we live in a time where it's very hard to be a man sometimes, because if you give a compliment in this time of age to a woman, like, hey, you smell very nice, it's like, oh my God, don't talk to me, I have a boyfriend, that's sexual assault. I think the time we are living in is very confusing for both parts. We want to have boundaries, want to be respectful to ourselves. But in the same time, it's very hard to be human and talk like, hey, girl, you look nice today. It's like, oh my God, why you talk to me like that? Do you like sexualize me? No, girl, just being honest, you look great today, you know? It's very hard sometimes to be a man as well. So I think we have to look at both ways. Men are not all monsters. I see grown-ass men cry about everything and stuff. So, and the same as women, calm down. I think the numbers aren't there yet because men are so ashamed. So ashamed.
I think a man looks at himself and thinks of
With such a
himself as
shame.
less of a man for something like that to happen.
Yes.
And there's
Yeah.
a very
And as a woman, we
skewed-
do as well, right? We are so ashamed when something happened to us. Our womanhood is taken away. We do not feel as a woman anymore. Think about it in your head. A man would feel probably the same. Like, damn, I just froze. We froze when something. Some people freeze when something happens to you. Like, why would I let that happen to me? I just laid there and didn't do. Because you froze, you're scared. It's like people react that way. Some men have the same response. That's what I see in the courtroom. They just freeze. They just freeze. They
Old
do not
man
know
Marine
what to do.
donated $200. Where's the video of the man saving the women from drowning? Would you rather swim with sharks or be picked up by a random man in a boat?
Okay, who picks shark? Who would rather be in the ocean with a shark than a random man in a boat?
No, I'm not gonna be sure.
Okay. I do have
Sharks
to
are
move
so
on.
scary. They just defeated the whole question.
Old Man Marine, thank you for the message. We have another one coming in here, and then we have 2 more chats. Stinky de Magic Poo. It's known fact is sociology circles that women abuse the elder and children more frequently than men. It's just never talked about because it's faux pas to present anything female in poor light. And then there is something kind of related to the bear thing here. For example, like women commit the vast majority of neonaticide. So if we use the same logic in the man versus bear thing, could we conclude that it's safer to entrust a baby with a bear than the baby's own mother? Anyways, I don't know. That came to mind. We have 2 chats. We have, there's another one. Can you read this one?
Drop your diocese number, no Eucharist. I'll read it because it's about me. Shane talking about receiving nudes and hooking up. Drop your diocese number, no Eucharist for you. See you at confession or your exorcist. 300 Hail Marys, please. Firstly, I genuinely need to go to confession. I am not a perfect Catholic, and I'm a new Catholic, and it's very hard to meet the expectations, and I will try for the rest of my life and fail probably a lot. Secondly, I'm talking about the past. I was secular for 36 years, man. Give me a break here.
And we have Law Paladins. Waz needs to stay away from casinos. Random man does not mean equality. Likely to hurt you has not hurt you. That isn't what random means unless you think 50% of men are grapers. Random man does not mean equally likely to hurt you.
And who's
has not hurt.
Was? Who's that?
I think her, maybe.
Why would
Thank you, Law Paladins, for that. Peachy, can I have you read these?
Sure. 25 to 30% of DNA tests in family court turn out to be the father is not the husband.
That's also very true. I see this a lot in the courtroom. I also see this a lot. It's very sad.
Because if it gets to family court, something must have happened. If they took a DNA test, there must be like suspicion. So in that like denominator, it's just a larger group of people that are, have a higher chance of adultery. So it's like that's not an accurate representation of the world.
But if a man cheats on his wife, he's horrible. But if a woman
That's
cheats
not
on
my
a man,
point.
it's
All right. We have